What's going on, people? This is Kiss Shardy Gaming Nation in the building here to do this video, this movie review. Um, how should I even begin? All right. A lot of Disney movies, a lot of Star Wars movies, a lot of Marvel movies, I have chosen not to watch. Why is that? It's because a lot of feminism, a lot of wokeism, a lot of BS or bullshit has been added into these things that if I watch it and I see it, it's gonna piss me off. Um, Now, when you talk about Lion King, right? Lion King has been a cartoon or anime movie that I grew up watching as a kid, as a child. Like I'm 33 years old, 33 years old this year, right? So, this is a thing that I grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's sad to see that now Disney is allowing a lot of wokeism and feminism to be added into the movies, into a lot of these movies, right? As to why they're doing it, I might discuss that into our next video. I know why they're doing it, but and a lot of Disney, a lot of Lion King, especially with Lion King Mufasa, is geared towards children to watch this, right? Children are watching this, and it's really to attack masculinity in boys and to make male authority or kingship look weak, right? And what I recognize in a lot of these female brains, they like to cherry pick stuff. They like to review stuff about lions and shit, and then they'll cherry pick the thing that they perceive about a lion, and then say, "Oh, look, the male lion doesn't really run anything in the pride. It's really go up to the female lionesses. They do all the hunting and the killing and all that other stuff, and it's really the female lionesses that are in charge." And then you'll see clips on YouTube of them talking about lions and how they see the one instance where the male lion, he's trying to smash the female lion, and the female lion swats him in the face, and everybody go, "Oh, look, see the female lion is in charge," because a perception of men and what women want to do is they don't want equality, they want the throne. They want the men to build up the house that we've built up, and then they want the throne. Not understanding that if the men did not sit on the throne, we would have no civilization. We'd have nothing. If you sat on the throne, women, you destroy it. Right? So in today's, we're going to go into a bit of video review, and we're going to talk about, we're going to speak about, I'm going to correct certain things that I saw in give me a second, let me set up my slides. All right. We're going to correct certain things that we saw in the Lion King. All right, so let's do a review right quick right here. Add that to stage, and let's get it. So this part,
Betty, I'm a Mufasa.
first part, right? This is where Mufasa as a cub, he's meeting Scar or Taka's father, who was the king, right? Let's watch it.
Do you even know what Mufasa means?
No.
It means king, and that's me. You better start running, little Mufasa.
Now, this is what lions are actually supposed to be doing, right? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. All right. Let me show you. All right, so where is the male's lion authority shows up in the pride? Genetic and reproductive authority. He decides which cub gets to live, literally. When a new male takes over pride, he kills all cubs that aren't his. This is called infanticide, and it's evolutionary strategy. By doing this, he ensures that only his bloodline continues, a brutal but powerful form of genetic gatekeeping. This makes the male lion a arbiter of legacy. All right, let me make it so that hold on, give me a moment. Right, even the female role in the cub ring is reset based on who the dominant male is. If the cub live, it's because the male allows them to. All right, so let's go back to the movie, right? So what Taka's father here, or Scar's father, was doing here, he's actually doing what he's supposed to be doing. And here's where the feminist comes in.
For your life.
If I run, you'll never catch me. I'm the fastest cub that ever lived. My father told me so.
Ooh, Taka, you have a challenge. They will race to the dead tree and back. And when the prince defeats him, I will finish him in one bite.
What if Mufasa wins? If he wins, he lives. He stays with me.
See,
You have my word.
hold on. That's not supposed to happen. I just read to you what the authority of the men is. Authority of the male authority is, right? Genetic and reproductive authority. He decides which cubs gets to live, literally. When a new male takes over a pride, he kills all cubs that aren't his. This is called infanticide, and it's evolutionary strategy. By doing this, he ensures that only his bloodline continues, a brutal but powerful form of genetic gatekeeping. This makes the male line arbiter of legacy. Even the female role in cubs rearing is reset based on who the dominant male is. If the cub lives, it's because the male allows them to. Now, what we just saw in that small little brief video clip right there, right? The king, Taka's father, was doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing. And then you had his queen, or I forgot what the mother name was, usurping or checking his authority. That was not supposed to happen. That's not how that goes. As I just read to you, right? And then you want to make some bond with Mufasa, you know what I'm saying? And right there, Mufasa was supposed to die. There wasn't supposed to be no race or nothing like that. He was supposed to die right there. Taka's father was supposed to kill Mufasa. But like I said, a lot of these new age movies like Lion King, they like to insert their feminist thinking. Because right there and then, Taka's mother, right, bucked whatever the program of Taka's father was, which wasn't supposed to happen, right? So let's go back to here. Go back to here, see some more stuff. See some more stuff.
Let the race!
I always wanted a ride. What did you say about my...
To be like Taka.
Near the shade tree.
Foss and I were just playing.
You two will never be brothers. Now go back to the females and stay away from my son. Oh, your mother.
So what happened here was that Mufasa, they put him with the female lines, right? And then Taka's with the male lines, but that's not the important part. That is actually the important part because they was basically trying to say in the movie that Mufasa became a great leader because he was raised by his mother and not the male lion. The thing is that, like I said, the male lion, Taka's father, wasn't supposed to raise Mufasa. Neither was the female lion. They're supposed to kill him. All right.
But she adopts every lizard, speaks to passing grasshoppers.
I want to go with him.
You want to be with the females. You belong with the males.
He gets to hunt with Mother.
One day, he will betray you. That is what strays do.
Mufasa would never betray me.
Hey, this will all be yours, my son. You will be king. So pay attention.
This is the feminist
Study
part right here.
every move I make.
Sleeping. Again.
That is what males do. We protect the pride as we nap. That's power.
What is this thing at, bro? This is the one in that movie that pissed me off because this is something that I've heard feminists say, that the male lions, all they do is nap and sleep, and they don't really do anything. The female lions are the ones who do all the hunting and whatsoever and the heavy work, right? That's not how it actually is. Let me show you. We're gonna do some lion clips. We're gonna show some lion clips out here, right? Move that. Put this up there. Add this to the stage, Nick. There it is. So this is it. Males set the other boundaries of the pride's territory. His roars is sense marking and patrols roaring rival males. This territory and these females are under my protection and control. The lioness does not make these decisions. This is purely a male duty. Inferior means debt or takeover. Violent enforcement power. No lioness can stop him if he chooses to enforce something, unless it's coordinated defense, and even then it's risky. So what that means right there is now what tends to happen is that it takes like multiple female lionesses to gang up on that one male. And it's saying that to stop him from doing something. And even then, it's pointing out that that's a risky thing because male lions are significantly stronger than female lions. They weigh 30 to 50% more, have stronger forelimbs, bigger skulls, and are equipped with a mane, which protects them in combat. In head-to-head combat, a single male lion easily dominates the lionesses, unless he's overwhelmed by multiple lionesses and acting in concert. But even that's a risk, right? So let's go here. Lionesses may check him socially, like swatting him or pushing him back if he's aggressive to cubs, but they do not dominate him physically or hierarchically. So a lot of feminists, they'll take the small instance of when a female lion may swat the nigga when swat the male lion nigga when he's being aggressive to the cubs or when he's trying to get some box, but she can't dominate him physically if he decides to do something that he want to do. There's nothing she could do, right? His mere presence controls the behavior of the pride, including the lionesses. If he's aggressive or dominant, they adjust their actions accordingly. So that means that and we've seen this on National Geographic, where the male lion is being aggressive or he's asserting something, the female lions just bow to it and they adjust themselves to it. You know what I'm saying? Authority through fear and respect. Cubs learn early on to fear and respect the male. They don't play with him, climb on him, or challenge him like they do the lionesses. He's a symbol of power, and the psychological imprint is part of their development, even if he's not nurturing, right? So this is the analogy: king versus queen in a kingdom. Territory control, genetic control, cubs day-to-day nurturing, which is the only part that the females do, right? Disciplinary enforcement, final say, if asserted, and daily care. Raising cubs, indirect authority, right? So that's showing you the difference right there, right? The male lion doesn't raise cubs in a nurturing sense, but he controls the pride's very ability to exist. His authority is structural, territorial, and generational, not emotional, maternal, or maternal. The cubs are only alive, and the pride is only secure because he conquered, defended, and dominated. That is real authority, the kind that shapes legacy. So in that movie, in this scene right here, right? Move that, add this. In this scene right here,
My son,
when this happened,
this will all be yours, my son. You will be king. So pay attention. Study every move I make.
Sleeping. Again.
That is what males do. We protect the pride as we nap. That's power.
let me go back to my face. See, but I just read to you, does that match up or line up with what Disney showed to your face? No, it doesn't. This is why I stopped watching anything that Disney produces, since this is the wokeness that they're going along with. Turn on my phone right quick, right? Since this is the direction that they're going with it, they just made it seem that lion male power was lazy and it sleeps all day, and that's what kingship is. And I just described to you what the role of the male lion is and his duty is, and look what Disney put before you, put before your faces. This is programming in the minds of young male children that as a man, your leadership is nothing but you sleeping around. When the male lion clearly has bigger responsibilities, as I just pointed out, right? Um, let me look for.
Very.
The music snob. You couldn't possibly know this. Send a scout and you'll...
We heard. I promise, Majesty.
Somehow he survived. It was
I will walk from.
see him.
Oh, what to say? A question, right? A question. This is good. Yeah.
This right here.
Our every move. Mufasa, you have to help me.
This right here. So they even you taking the time to hold on. Taking the time to add dumbass dating stuff in here. Right?
Help you how?
It's Sarabi, Mufasa. She is the light
Look at
my
this.
mother spoke of. What? She's special. The most amazing female I've ever met in my life.
I don't know what to say to her. You've spent your life with females. Please, tell me what to say.
Just talk to her. Be yourself.
Oh, Mufasa, you...
Look how they're making these lions weak as hell. That's not how lions are with the female lions.
You don't understand. Myself isn't good enough. You...
What? Let me give you all some advice to the children that's going to be watching it. The biggest lie that's ever been told to men is that we have to now run through hoops and do A, B, C, and D and do all these extraordinary stuff to get a woman's attention, right? Which nothing is wrong if for a man's personal development, you put a standard on what masculinity is, learn how to fight, learn how to hunt, learn how to fish, learn how to build stuff, learn how to be a leader, how to be a follower, how to do construction. These things are vital tools in somebody's masculinity or a boy's masculine development, because men, we have to do things to build society, maintain society, and keep society going, right? And yes, women are supposed to be attracted to that, right? The thing is that society has programmed men to make them feel inadequate or not enough based upon what a woman feels, based upon what she feels. You see what I'm saying? And if you can't attract this woman, means you have no game. And nobody can explain to me, of all the niggas that ever said what game is, nobody can explain to me what the lack of game is that is making me not attractive to this woman. And really and truly, you can't control what a woman is attracted to or not. That's why I don't like the argument of you not having game because you couldn't pull a bitch. Right? Because what do you mean? What do you mean? Right? Because at the end of the day, if the woman is not attracted to you, she's not attracted to you. There's nothing you can control about that. Right? It's based upon what she attracts and what's her perception of what she attracts, right? A lot of that is based upon her, basically. So, there's really nothing you can do. You can have all the cars or the money. You can look the best you can be. If she, in her mind, her perception of what attracted is to her based on her feelings, it's not going to work. She's just not going to be interested in you. It is what it is, right? But I did enough of that Lion King thing. I want to get into this right here. This is the real thing I want to get into, right? This. Let's go to the very beginning. All right. Male lion versus female lions. Who really runs the jungle? Physical strength. Male lions are significantly stronger than female lions. They weigh 30 to 50% more. Have stronger forelimbs, bigger skulls, and are equipped with a mane, which protects them in combat and head-to-head combat. A single male lion easily dominates the lionesses, unless he's overwhelmed by multiple lionesses acting in concert. You notice in the Lion King movie, the outsider male lion actually had more dominance over the female lions, but he was conceived as the evil lion trying to take over. Hold on, let me pull that up before I continue this. Let me pull this up. Move that, pull that in there. Let me pull that up. Right. Before I play it, let me remove it from stage and then play it. Put it to the screen. All right, so let's play it.
Is my son.
There was a young lion, Majesty. He fought Shaju.
And yet, you came back. You survived.
I was badly hurt. I promise, Majesty, this is the truth.
The truth.
Yes, the truth.
The truth is standing behind
Look how dominant the outsider male lion is.
you.
And he's supposed to be the evil lion. And look how the female lions is at that male lion's command. He's supposed to be the evil one, mind you.
There were others, Majesty.
But
Look how they addressed him. Your Majesty. Taka's father, the mother lion did not address Taka as Your Majesty. They were on some equal shit. This lion, these outsider lions, they addressed the male lion as Your Majesty, but this lion was supposed to be the evil lion.
One left blood on his mane.
Which means he left Shaju to die.
Saved himself.
This young lion was he their king.
His blood is common, ordinary.
Look how they shivered. Look how they shivered when he did his roar. You know what I'm saying? That did not happen with Taka's father. But the Taka's father was supposed to be the good lions. These are supposed to be the evil lions.
There.
This is what Disney is showing you. Disney is showing you that you being a dominant, aggressive male, where the women address you as the king and is submissive to you, that's toxic.
No, Hughes. You are the only king.
Look how they're bowing down to him. But this is the evil lion. This is supposed to be the evil lion. But Taka's father, or Scar's father, he was a whole punk. He let the female lions check the nigga, all kind of shit. All right, let's continue a little bit more.
An ordinary lion. And you left my son to die?
I was injured. There was no choice. Please, Majesty, you have to believe me.
There's no reason to fear me. I would never harm one of my own.
Thank you, Majesty.
I'll leave that pleasure to them.
Majesty!
So that's my point. The evil lions, or the outsider pride, he had more dominant and control over his lionesses, as opposed to Taka, the pride lions, he didn't. He showed that type of lion is lazy and this, that, and the third. See, this is what they're trying to teach y'all. And this is why I don't like watching those things, because I know it's wrong. And I'm going to say something about it, like I am right now, right? And I don't like when you're watching movies, people are putting their own political agendas in this shit. Especially when the agenda is to hate masculinity, right? Misuse feminist clips. She swats him, so she's just alpha. Those viral clips of a lioness swatting a male during mating attempts. That's called mate selection or estrus resistance. The lionesses may not be ready to mate or may be asserting sexual agency, which is normal in many species. That's not dominance. A swat is not a fight, it's a signal. If the male wanted to, he could maul her in seconds, but he doesn't because he's not there to fight her. He's there to reproduce, which is what I try to explain to a lot of women. That's a lot of women that like to refer to those clips, right? Right? Control restraint doesn't equal weakness, right? So women would take those clips and be like, see, the woman is dominating him, and yeah, dominating him, trying to find the correct word, right? But that's not what's happening. The male lion in that moment, he's trying to have sex. He's not trying to kill her or dominate her, right? So that you know what happens when a lion backs down from that? He's respecting her sexual agency right there. You see what I'm saying? So that's not her being alpha. Because if he wanted to, he'd snap her in two. If that's what he wanted, right? He just kick her out and find another female lion, right? When females overpower a male, you might see lionesses gang up on a male when he's killing a cub, which happens when a new male takes over a pride. He kills existing cubs to bring females back in heat. He's disciplining or being aggressive to the young. But even in these cases, it's usually a group of lionesses cooperating defensively. Not a single lioness is dominating a male. Male lions are programmed to tolerate female aggression in some contexts because their job is bigger, to defend the pride from rival males, hyenas, and other predators, right? So the lion, now notice it says programmed, right? So he's programmed to tolerate certain aggression from the women, right? Because him dealing with their aggression all day, every day, that's going to drain his energy from his bigger job, right? Because it's funny, y'all don't notice because when it comes to hyenas attacking the lionesses, most of the hyenas are male. And what happens when the hyenas are ganging up on the female lions? The hyenas is whooping the female lion's ass. It's not until that one male lion pulls up and all the hyenas get shook. All right. The real role of male lions. Male lions are the protectors and gatekeepers of genetics. When a male lion takes over a pride, he may kill the cubs that aren't his, brutal but strategic. I think I read this already. Oh, so no, I didn't. Males defend the territory with their lives. Many die young in brutal fights, protecting females and cubs. Without a strong male, hyenas and rogue males can kill off entire prides. The idea that male lions are lazy or checked is a misconception. They work differently, focus on power, defense, and genetics. All right. Summary: feminists are misrepresenting animal behavior. Lionesses check male lions, true only Pacific mating or cub protection situations, not as dominance. Lionesses run the pride. They do the hunting, yes, but males defend, dominate, and control mating. Lionesses can overpower the male, only in groups, rarely, and usually as a defense move. Male lions are lazy. They conserve energy for brutal fights and protection that risk death often. So when Taka's father was lying down to nap and sleep, it was to conserve energy, not because he was lazy. But you feminist weirdo thinking brains want so desperately to dethrone male and to make men look bad that you put that in that movie. Final thought. Trying to map human feminist ideology onto animal behavior is both unscientific and intellectually dishonest. Lions have lived by instinct, survival, and raw biology, not social justice theory. See, as long as you apply the feminist, the loop model ideology to everything, of course it's going to look bad. Of course it's going to look wrong because they're adding their perception to it instead of what the truth of it is. All right. I already read this, already read that, already read that, read that, read that. The male lion doesn't raise cubs in nurturing sense, but he controls the pride's variability to exist. His authority is structural, territorial, and generational, not emotional or maternal. The cubs are only alive, and the pride is only secure because he conquered, defended, and dominated. That is real authority, the kind that shapes legacy. Who raises the cubs? Feminist argument versus reality. Lionesses run the pride, They raise the cubs. So this is what the feminists argue, right? Lionesses run the pride. They raise the cubs. They do the hunting. They control the pride dynamics. But here's the full reality. Yes, lionesses nurture and raise the cubs daily. Handle, discipline, and socializing and feeding. Form a sisterhood structure to care for another's offspring, right? But the male lion allows those cubs to live, especially if they're male, has the final say over the genetic future of the pride. If he wants to, he can kill the cubs to reset mating. He can drive out female cubs once they reach sexual maturity to prevent inbreeding or rival pride formation. He can remove a disciplined lionesses who interfere with his authority or challenge his rule. That's the most important one. Even the lionesses won't stop him if he fully asserts dominance unless they act together and take great risk. Because even if they do form together, I guarantee you that that dominant lion might kill two or three of them, right? The most important part, right? He can remove or discipline lionesses who interfere with his authority or challenge his rule. I'll read that again. He can remove, discipline lionesses who interfere with his authority or challenge his rule. That's what he could do. Not like how the Nation of Islam likes to repeat that quote that the nation raises no higher than the woman. Well, guess what? The woman raises no higher than the male's authority. If a male wanted to, and you're a woman, and you're being disrespectful to his program, or you're trying to usurp his power, he can remove you or dismiss you. Which is a power that a lot of men in today's society have been stripped of. Right, during the Victorian age, if the woman was being a cheater or the woman was being disrespectful, he can divorce that chick and she would get nothing. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the power that men had to assert dominance in his homes have been stripped by law, have been stripped from him legally and lawfully, right? Bottom line, lionesses raise the cubs, but the male lion governs whether they're even allowed to exist, stay, or pass on their lineage. That is ultimate authority, not just nurturing. Lionesses equal domestic authority, care, nurture, and teach. Male lion, executive authority, enforce, protect, control, legacy, right? Now, a lot of women like to also use elephants, right? So I'm going to break this down. Elephant herd dynamics, a true matriarchy, but not what feminists think, right? Female-centered social structure. So I want to point this out, right? Feminist thinking will look at the elephants and look how they run it, and say, "Well, see, this is how their matriarchies ran based upon my feminist perception," instead of looking at the truth of what the matriarchy, how the matriarchal structure of elephants is actually run. But they'll add their feminist, the new model, warped thinking to it, and then corrupt it, right? Female-centered social structure. Elephant herds are led by a matriarch, usually the oldest and most experienced female. The herd is made up of her daughters, their daughters, and juvenile males until they reach adolescence. Oh, hold on, my fault. The matriarch makes decisions on migration, water, food, safety, passes a survival knowledge like hidden water holes, protects young through leadership and memory. Male elephants lone rangers. When male elephants hit puberty, 12 to 15 years, they are forced out of the herd. What's going on? They become solitary or form loose temporary all-male bachelor groups. Adult males come back only to mate, then leave again. They do not participate in child rearing or social leadership. So what's the difference between elephants and lions? Trait: lion patriarch, elephant matriarchal. Mixed sex pride, female only herd with juvenile males, right? Dominant male king-like, matriarch wise elder. Territorial enforcer, protector, killer of rival cubs. Roams independently, returns only to mate. Child rearing, done by females, but males control legacy. 100% female care system, right? So let's go into why. Why this exists in elephants. Elephant males are massive and unpredictable during musk, a hormonal mating phase. Musk males can be dangerous to calves and females, which is why they're kept outside of the herd except for mating. The female-centered systems ensures long-term safety and stability, not power politics. The matriarch isn't feminist icon. She's the best memory bank and survival guide, right? So the reason why the elephant males are not what the hell's making that noise? Anyway, musk is because wow. Is the reason why that is because the male elephants are dangerous. This is why they're not in the pride. They're dangerous to the female and they're unpredictable and they're massive. You ever seen National Geographic on how massive an elephant is? Male elephant is? They're big, right? So now, and the females are significantly smaller. So now, if the male elephants are in their pride and they're into musk, or I guess that's when they're in their hormonal, when their testosterone is really high, that can be very dangerous to the female and the cows that's there. So that's why he's not in the pride, right? It's not because of some feminist perception of it. Feminist misuse. Feminists will say, see, elephants show that women are the natural leaders. Men just show up to have sex and leave. But they ignore male elephants don't leave because females banish them to create a utopia. They leave because their size, aggression, and mating behavior are incompatible with herd safety. There's no male subjugation or female domination. It's just a different survival system based on biology, not ideology, right? I guarantee you, if there was a threat equal to that of elephants on that desert, I guarantee you that the male elephants will come back and will be the head of that pride, right? Because the only threat that's as big as an elephant is maybe a rhinoceros or hippo. But then I've watched National Geographics where the elephant dominates a hippo and dominates a rhino, right? But if there was a threat size equal or greater than a matriarchal or female elephants, I guarantee you that they're going to start needing or start gravitating to a male-led hierarchy amongst elephants. I guarantee you, because look at lions. All right, their threats equal to lions, and even greater than lions in that desert. That's why the female lions gravitate to a male lion because they understand that, right? Final summary. Lions equal patriarchal structure. Male enforces genetic dominance, protects and controls. Elephants, matriarchal structure. Female lead the herd. Males are separate by nature, not weakness. So yes, elephants are matriarchal, but the reason is survival-based biology, not some model for human social society or gender politics. Trying to compare lion and elephant societies to justify feminism is like comparing a castle to a spaceship. Completely different designs for different environments, right? Now, you know what's so funny is that feminism will look at the gender dynamics as a social construct, but not realizing that their ideology is a social construct that corrupt natural gender roles and that corrupts everything. Look how they corrupt in the lion and the man, the lions and the elephants with their ideologies. Right? Biology inversion. They'll say, see, male elephants are dangerous. That means masculinity is inherently unsafe. But reality says male elephants aren't dangerous because of toxic masculinity. They're biologically wired to become unpredictable during musk, a mating phase driven by testosterone. So, I know what the feminists are going to do. They're going to take the fact that the male elephants going to musk, that the male elephants are dangerous, and they're going to flip it, right? But this is why I made this right here, right? Let's see right here. Male elephants are dangerous because of toxic masculinity. They're biologically wired to become unpredictable during musk, a mating phase driven by testosterone. They're separated for balance, not punished for being male. Disclaimer, that must always be made. This separation is about species survival, not moral judgment. Male elephants are vital for reproduction and evolution. The solitary role isn't demotion, it's biological strategy, right? Um, I had a thought, and I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get it back. I have ADHD. This right here. They're biologically wired to become unpredictable during musk and mating phase, driven by testosterone. I wonder why that is. Right? I wonder why that is. I might ask ChatGPT. So I'm gonna share ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Add this to stage. Remove that. Add that to stage. Let's see. Let's see why. ChatGPT. Why are elephants biologically wired to be unpredictable during when they reach musk? What is musk in elephants? Musk is a natural period of sexual maturity and dominance in adult male elephants, usually starting around age 20 to 25. It happens annually and can last weeks to months. Testosterone shows up to 60 times normal levels. During musk, male elephants experience massive spikes in testosterone, up to 60 times higher than their baseline. Shit. This hypermasculine stat affects their behavior, hyperaggression, irritability, impatience, disregard for social norms within herds. So that's why, right? Think of it. Think of it like biological overdrive. Strength, dominance, and mating drive are at maximum. So this is why they have to leave the herd, right? Temporal gland, swelling and secretion. The temporal glands located between the eye and the ear swell and leak a thick, strong smelling fluid. This fluid mixed with urine, which dribbles constantly and chemically signal dominance and musk status. This secretion contributes to irritation and discomfort, fueling aggression. Mating competition. Musk is when males compete for access to fertile females. Since dominant males are often challenged, they are in a constant state of combat readiness. Other males avoid them, and even herds may steer clear, right? Lack of herd structure. Unlike females, male elephants are mostly solitary or form loose bachelor groups. Without a regulating social hierarchy like lionesses or matriarchs, there's nothing to restrain a musk male. Their independence and hormones equal wild card behavior. Bonus fact, even rhinoceros, humans, and some primates show more aggressive behavior with testosterone spikes. But elephants take it to the extreme because of their sheer size, power, and duration of musk. Woo! So, which is interesting, because they're saying that men have that spike too, right? But I think that spike for men is in our 20s and stuff, right? Um, and I think as men, because of society conditioning, we more have control of that. Um, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the way how feminized society has gotten, it kind of is now doing things to make masculinity or to test the natural testosterone that human men produce weaker. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. All right, let's continue. Historical half truths. They'll say Victorian men controlled women's money and had all the power, but leave out that women were expected to hand over income because men were legally obligated to provide food, shelter, and social protection. Men were publicly shamed, fined, or even imprisoned for abandonment or abuse, especially in community-based cultures. Marriage was economic contract, not just patriarchal oppression structure. Proper framing must include, in any patriarchal system, leadership comes with duty and consequence. Authority without accountability is tyranny. But the majority of traditional men paid the price in labor, war, and social shame if they failed. Right? So, another thing, and I'm going to make another video describing the Victorian age, right? A lot of women like to go back to the Victorian age and tell half bullshit truths, right? But they leave out, well, the reason why, one of the things is that the men controlled the money. So if women went out to work, which means women went out, they were working. It's that when she brought home the money, it went to the man. And the reason being is that because how the rules and laws of the Victorian age was, or the expectations of the Victorian age was that the man was responsible for protecting and providing food, shelter. So the money had to go to him. It wasn't on some, oh, I'm taking away your autonomy or I'm oppressing you, right? Men were publicly shamed, fined, or even imprisoned for abandonment or abuse, especially in community-based structures. Mm. So there were social pressures on men for abandoning his family, right? A lot of feminists don't want to bring that part out. This is why I don't like feminists, because they tell half truths to create their bullshit narratives, right? Marriage was a economic contract, not just a patriarchal oppression structure, right? Proper framing must include, in a patriarchal system, leadership comes with a duty and consequences. Authority without accountability is tyranny. But the majority of traditional men paid the price in labor, war, and social shame if they fail. So a lot of people don't want to recognize, a lot of women who are feminist thinking, which is all of y'all, you didn't want to recognize that with that patriarchal system of the Victorian age and till now, there's always been social shame on men if they fail to do their responsibilities. Right? Context stripping narratives. They'll use examples like women didn't have autonomy, but though most men didn't either. Factory workers, soldiers, farmers, they were just as much bound to duty. Autonomy wasn't gendered, it was class based. Only elite men or women had any real freedom. In many cases, women were protected from war, harsh labor, and capital punishment through I don't know how to say this name, patrilinealism, which was inconvenient but also life saving, right? So read this again. Autonomy wasn't gendered, it was class based. Only elite men or women had any real freedom. So, ladies, or women who were men or women who were considered gentlemen or ladies or in the upper class, they had real freedom. Everybody else under that, factory workers, soldiers, farmers, which were mostly men, they were bound to that to maintain the society. Right? And women didn't have to go to war. They didn't have to work harsh labor. They didn't have to deal with capital punishment. All of that was dealt to the men. So you want to talk about women's autonomy? Men didn't have autonomy. You see what I'm saying? And women were protected from a lot of the bullshit. Male lion cubs survival and becoming pride leaders. So this is now going into the survival rate of male lions, right? Male lion cubs survival and becoming pride leaders. Cubs survival challenges. Lion cubs, both male and female, face many threats, including starvation, predation by hyenas or other predators, and infanticide by incoming male lions. When a new male coalition takes over a pride, they often kill existing cubs that are not theirs to bring the females back into estrus. Survival rate of male cubs. Estimates suggest only about 10 to 20% of male lion cubs survive to adulthood due to these pressures. High cub mortality is a natural population control mechanism, right? Age, when male lions are considered adults. Male lions are considered adults around 3 to 4 years old. However, they really take over pride immediately at this age. Full physical maturity, including manes, development, and strength, usually happens around 5 to 8 to 6 years. Taking over a pride typically makes male, so let me slow down. Taking over a pride. Typical male leaves their birth pride around 2 to 3 years old. They live nomadically or form coalition with other males. To take control of a pride, a male coalition must challenge and overthrow the existing dominant males. Only a small percentage of males ever get to lead a pride, given competition and risk involved, right? So not every male lion, this is to show you, I'm showing this to you to show you how dangerous it is and how risk-taking it is for a male lion to first survive the environment, right? And then two, to even become a male that's the head of a coalition of women. This is what they have to do to become dominant. So these male lions, they're not just taking over pride like that. They're going through things before they reach that level. Ironically, that's the same thing that's in human society, right? Not every male makes it to manhood or makes it to the top. You see what I'm saying? But feminists, they don't want to. They want to ignore that for whatever reason. So let me show this last part, and then I'm gonna end it here. Subadult males 2 to 3 years old usually live outside the pride after being forced out by the dominant males, often their fathers or uncles. They often form coalitions with brothers or other young males for protection and hunting. Hunting solo is difficult, especially because young males lack the skill or stamina of mature lions. They do hunt, but their success rate is lower than that of adult lionesses, right? And the reason being is that because female lions are, so I'm gonna go into that, right? They do have female support, no. At this stage, subadult males are all outside the pride, so they don't get the benefit of female lionesses. Cooperative hunting. They rely on their own hunting skills, scavenging, and sometimes stealing kills from other predators or other lion groups. Coalition helps improve success because they can work together, but it's still challenging, right? All right. So, okay. So let me explain to you. I thought I had it in this slide, but I don't. So the reason why the male lions are not so successful in hunting than the female lions is because male lions are a lot bigger, right? They have manes, right? Female lions, they don't have manes, they're not so big, right? So they can now sneak and be more sneaky when hunting for prey. But even the female lions, if you watch, have a difficult time catching prey. And they're a lot smaller, agile, and quicker, right? The male lions, even though they're a lot bigger, it's hard for them to sneak. And because they have the manes around their head, the hair shown on it, it's hard for them to hide, right? But you watch on National Geographic where when a male lion forms a brotherhood with his other lions, it's a lot easier for them to hunt big buffalo, right? When it'll take four female lions to take down a big buffalo, when it would just take two lions to take down a big buffalo. And we've seen this on National Geographic, right? But but man, that Mufasa movie, the Lion King movie shit, that pissed me off, and I had to do this live. All right, I can't show the whole video for copyright reasons, but it's just ridiculous that Disney is choosing to put feminist agenda into these movies for really and truly to control the population of men, to nullify the men. A lot of people in Disney and in our society are left leaning, and they desperately want to see America being destroyed. So now they're trying to dull or nullify the men um, to make it an easier time. Right? Because it's like in Captain America Winter Soldier, right? When I think Zola was telling Captain America that every time we tried to take over the world, there was always a traditional masculine presence to stop us from doing it. So they recognize that America is the center of traditional masculinity. So they understand that they got to destroy America for them to do whatever their tyrannical, communist, Marxist goal is to do. Right? But anyway, this is Kish Shorty Gaming Nation. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.